Let's give it up for tuna packets. Yeah, all right, tuna packets. They pretty much keep us going on every trip, but these can get super boring. So come along for a fast, tasty, elevated trail lunch using tuna packets. And what we're making today, we are making tuna melt. I never tried this recipe, but it's been on the list for a while. So come along as we give it a test. Hey, Chef Corso, Outdoor Eats. I am back in the Pacific Northwest bushes. Yes, if you've never been in the Pacific Northwest in the summertime, it's exactly where you want to be. But today we are going to be looking at an elevated trail lunch. You do have to get your burner out for this, but it will be well worth it. What we're going to do today is make a tuna melt. So we're not going to be using bread, putting a tuna mix in it, and then melting some cheese on it, because for a lot of these portable camp stoves, the grilled cheese, the tuna melt situations just don't work very well. So we're going to do a little bit of a camp hack, but that way we can have our tuna melt experience while still using our portable camp pot. So let's take a look at our ingredients for our tuna melt. So here are our ingredients for our tuna melt. And what I love about this is super packable, really easy for a trail lunch or a trail dinner. So as you can see here, we've got pretty basic. We've got a couple tuna packets, we've got some grated cheddar cheese, you could also use some cheese snacks, we've got your favorite crackers, or old bread if you like, and some mayo and mustard packets. And this is the base version of the recipe, but stay tuned because I have an elevated option a little bit later. So what we're going to do is just mix up our tuna and our condiment packets and then get the heat going so we can get a little bit of warmth on it, and then throw in our cheese. And sorry, cold soakers, but you cannot cold soak cheese to melt. Science says you can't do that, both inside or outside. So if you do want a true tuna melt experience, you do have to give it some actual heat. So there's two ways you could proceed here. You could just put some cheese on the top here and let it melt, or you could add some crackers in and let that kind of soak in as well, so you have it as kind of a mishmash bowl situation. So if you want to dip, you can easily do that, or if you just want to crumble, you can do that, or you can maybe do a little bit of both. Turn the heat off, put the lid on that with the steam so it can start to melt. All right, this has been sitting for just about 5 minutes, and if you need to turn the heat on for another second or two to get that cheese melted, because that's what we're looking for. This is a tuna melt, man. This is not tuna and cheese. Oh, yes, that is exactly what you want. A pretty big cheesy bite. Wow. I will say, the melted cheese really makes this. Actually, I really like the crumbled crackers in there. Kind of soaks up a little bit of that water too. We'd easily add some other seasonings as you like. You could even use those flavored tuna packets that can give you another blast of flavor. But just a couple tuna packets, a little bit of cheddar cheese, some crackers, and some condiment packets, and you've got an elevated trail lunch. But speaking of elevated, all right, so this is the base model, but what else can we add to this to make this really tasty? Let's go. So depending on how you like your tuna mix, there's a couple things that you could add. But one thing that I'm noticing is it needs a little bit of texture. So I'd easily chop up a couple celery sticks, give it a little bit of crunch. Even add a little bit of pickle too. These packable pickles are super great to pack along. The packable pickles are the packable pickles are perfect to pack along postpartum. I don't know. Nice. So now we've got some acidity and we've got some nice crunch in there. But if you don't want to take along packaged cheese, you could also take along these cheese crisps in any flavor, but these are really awesome ingredients to have along. Wow, look at that. Now we've got a super elevated, crunchy tuna melt situation. Oh, look at that cheese pull. Let's try it. You can taste that crunch in there. Man, that is super tasty. That is definitely going to be on some meal plans coming up this summer. Oh, yes. Thanks for coming along for trail testing this tuna melt recipe. But get out there and make this or something else for an elevated trail lunch. But get out there. Boca boca.